Good morning and welcome to this morning's Make Money Now coaching call. Let me make sure that I've got recording started. Recording is recording. Let's see here. Let me just pull that over there. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If there are people who have joined from an other link, this is the right link, the 895-115-413. It will be recorded. This will be put up into the Make Money Now coaching group as well. And that's my landline. I actually have a landline ringing. Sorry about that. So this is Farming on the 10's Part 2. And I'm really going to be digging into the specifics of what I'm doing. And for those of you that don't know, on Thursday in Las Colinas, and I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure in Allen as well, but I know in Las Colinas, we're going to be bringing our first letter, our introductory letter, our first print piece, and our rough drafts and brainstorming around that and masterminding around that. But I'll get to that later. So this is more of a meat and potatoes. And just for a little bit of background, my experience, I was the #1 new agent in Florida back in 2005, 2006. I've sold over 120 million in a single year. I've listed 120 properties in a year. I'm a national trainer and coach. I've owned 3 different brokerages. I've worked with every major brand, and I'm the former chief operating officer of the Real Recruiter and Jet Black Solutions, for those of you that follow John, and I am a former Tom Ferry coach. So why farm? And this is just a little bit of hold on, there we go. So just a little bit of a refresher from last week as I turn my notifications off. The less you drive, the more homes you can sell, the closer you are, and the more you sell in an area, the more of an expert you become. The fastest, most cost-effective long-term lead source after your center of influence is farming. And you can start up farming with sweat equity, meaning putting in time, and then change it to check equity later on when you have the business. And this is a very easy launch pad into a very dominant, specific methodology of getting listings and getting sellers. So in choosing a farm, I strongly suggest finding a neighborhood that you love and own it. Brittany and I she's identifying a farm, and she's identifying an area where she used to work at the school there, and an area that she would want to live in. So if you're not living in the neighborhood you would want to farm, then farm the neighborhood you would want to live in. So if your real estate career does what you want it to do, and you're making the money that you want to make, where would you be living? And that's the area that I would farm if you don't want to farm the neighborhood that you live in. I would start with 100 homes and then add additional homes down the road, but I would start with 100. It's a lot easier. I would find a neighborhood or a group of 100 homes that have 10% average turnover, where there isn't a single agent in the neighborhood that has 20% market share, where you understand the people that live there, and these are people that will respond to you and to your marketing. And if you need help in identifying a farm, definitely feel free to reach out to me, and I can help you in doing that. So the mega farm concept is not just our print marketing, which is what we're going to talk about today, but everything else that goes around it, like our circle dialing, our email marketing, our targeted digital marketing, our daily in-farm activities, which we're going to talk about today, door knocking, which is extremely important, doing events, which is also important. We'll talk about that a little bit today as well. And then having a Facebook niche page for the neighborhood or the area that you're going to be farming. So I'm going to start with daily in-farm activities before we get into the actual print pieces. You can start doing your daily in-farm activities today. You need to be doing your daily in-farm activities by the time your first mailer goes out. And these are walking your dog or your cat or yourself daily, finding a reason to be walking the neighborhood on a daily basis. You want to be driving the entire neighborhood every day. You are going to park your wrapped vehicle or your vehicle that has magnets on it in the neighborhood while you're walking the dog, or if you live there, parking it out in front. Do one act of kindness every day for someone in your farm. It can be as simple as giving them a coupon or sending them an article. Preview all new listings as they come on the market. Work close by. Here's the thing about working at home is nobody knows you're working if you're working at home. But if you work at a local Starbucks, it allows you to have a presence in your neighborhood. So print marketing. You want to do one print piece on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of the month for 3 months, and then 1 or 2 mailers a month after that, depending upon your price point and also your penetration. So if you are in a neighborhood that is under $500,000 and you decide to market to 100 homes, if after your first 3 months where you've gotten out a print piece and done all the other activities on the 10th, 20th, and 30th, if you do not already have a listing, then continue on with 2 print pieces a month. If you do already have a listing, then what you need to do is stay on with just 1 print piece every month. So the next is you want to make sure any letters that you are doing are signed personally. You want to make sure that any envelopes are personally addressed. You want to have consistent branding. And this is my friend Susan Laskin. And this image for her is on every single print piece she sends out. And she sends out 16,000 print pieces a month. And people expect her to be in this. She changed. She used to have a red phone with a cord, and after 20 years of the red phone with a cord, she changed to this one a few years back to update her image to something in the 21st century, a cordless phone that none of us use. But she does. She walks around. I've seen her do it. She walks around her office with this phone literally just attached to her head. She does not use a headset. And she's a beast. I think she did 1.7 million in GCI last year. So, all right. So print on the 10s. I am going to upload my spreadsheet into the Make Money Now coaching group. So you don't have to copy all of this or strategically write everything down. So my first piece is going out on November the 30th. It is my intro letter. And I'm going to upload Woody's example and my example. Here's what's in it: my credentials, my key messages, letting people know that now is the time to start thinking about the spring market, and to ask them if they know anybody interested in selling. My December 10th piece is a Christmas card, and I will show you how to resource that. And I'm doing individual different cards for each neighbor, or just not the same exact card for every neighbor, unless you have a family Christmas card that's a picture of you and your family. That's the very, very best. That you do get an extra 400, 500, whatever, and do the Christmas card to your farm. December 20th, I'm going to get out a list of current homes for sale and let them know what's on the market. I'm also going to let them know of what has sold, but not obviously giving them the sales price in that area in the past 6 months. And I'll upload an example of that as well. I'm going to show you actually an example of some of these. So December 30th, I'm going to be sending out my Happy New Year calendar magnet. January 10th, the neighborhood newsletter, the monthly market analysis. And this is going to be one of your either 1 or 2 pieces every month that you're doing in perpetuity. and I'll show you what that looks like. And March 11th, the spring forward date, this was just left over in the spreadsheet. I forgot to erase it. Sorry. Because I've done this a number of times and done this for other people, and so I was just redoing a spreadsheet. So then again on January 20th, again letting people know of what's on the market and what's on sale, and then letting people know what has sold. January 30th, I am going to do something around a Super Bowl party. What I'm thinking about doing, because nobody wants to come to my Super Bowl party, but what I'm thinking about doing is having my friend Katie come over and park her coffee truck in the neighborhood before the Super Bowl and have like an unofficial in the street tailgate for the Super Bowl where anybody that wants to come by can come by and grab a coffee. And so I'll market that and everything else. And then the 8th and the 9th, I've got a second personal letter, and I'll give you examples of that. And then again on the 20th, a third personal letter. And this methodology here works. And I'm going to show you some very specifics now as well. So this is Woody's intro letter. Now, Woody's an exceptional human being. That's why he sells, why he nets $100,000 a month in commission income, right? He's always been an exceptional person. And he went into a brand new area that he'd never lived in before after a messy divorce, lost the farm area in the divorce, had to start a new farm area. And this was a couple of years ago. And he's now up at over 50% market share in that area. I just touched base with him actually a week ago. So this is him talking about what his background is. It's letting people know his path to becoming a real estate agent, letting people know what his skill and competence is. It is a very friendly, kind, human letter. It's not too businessy, even though he is kind of a straight-laced guy, former fighter, former helicopter pilot, former Navy SEAL. So that's Woody's intro letter. I'll upload my intro letter as well. And I'll upload this so that you can modify it and play with it in the Make Money Now coaching group. So this is Nicole's market update. So this was the market update letter that she does. It's basically just letting people know what's going on in the market. I'll upload this as well. I'll also upload my version for my neighborhood so you can see how I've modified it. She's basically just letting people know what's going on in the market. There are approximately 200 homes in this was University Park Estates over in Las Colinas. And she let people know over the last 12 months, 13 homes have sold, just over one a month. As of October 8th, there are only 2 homes for sale. This equates to an available inventory of only 2 months supply. Anything less than 5 months supply is defined as a seller's market. A seller's market means less days on market and higher sales prices. It's a great time to sell. And then she talks about her specific experience. This was a new farm area that she was going into. So she said, this year I represented 2 of the sellers of those beautiful homes that sold, as well as 1 buyer. During the year, I met several additional buyers that are very interested in the neighborhood, but have yet to find exactly what they're looking for in a home. Please let me know if you or anyone you know is interested in selling. And then she talks a little bit about her competency and why someone would want to work with her. This was very simple. I want to point something out to you. Remember how I said that all letters need to be personally signed? Well, Nicole already had a farm area of about 600 homes. This was going into more. We built her farm over time up to 2,400 homes. She did not believe that she was going to be able to sign 2,400. So she had a font designed based on her signature so that it looked like her signature. It actually was not that expensive. It only cost a couple $100. If that's something you're interested in doing, definitely feel free to let me know. For the people that knew her and knows her handwriting, this looks exactly like her handwriting. It's kind of eerie. So that's Nicole's market update. So Christmas cards. I just very quickly went on Amazon. I will probably not do this. I live right next door, for those, well, most of you know where I live, right at Coyton Beltline, and I've got the most amazing dollar store in the world, and I can go over there and get a pack of 10 cards for $1. So what I will probably do for my about 150 homes that I have here is I'll go over and I'll spend $15 on 150 cards, each of the 10 different. And then I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to deliver them as well, which I think you'll like in a minute, because I'm going to give you a hack to how to do this without paying postage, especially in the beginning when you're working from a sweat equity position as opposed to a check equity position. So this is 24 cards for $7 on Amazon. This is a very cost-effective way of saying hello to your neighbors. If you have the picture, the happy birthday picture, the Merry Christmas picture that you do with your family, include that inside in this Christmas card. That's what Nicole always did. So magnets. So I talked about how I'm doing at New Year's, the New Year's magnet, the calendar magnet. I love these. In my experience, and the experience of everyone I know, this is the most held on to leave behind, so swag piece. So all you need to do is you do the peel and stick, you put your business card here, and this magnet can go on their refrigerator or out in their workroom or wherever. I know a lot of fridges nowadays aren't magnetic. Mine is. So I put things on mine. But still, this is one of the most effective leave behinds. And this is just today on House of Magnets. I just went to see what their prices were. So this is a 300 pack of these magnets, and this is special today for $54. And I verified with them. It said one carton equals 100 calendars for $54, but this is a special that they're doing where it's 3 cartons. It's a 300 count, one carton, 300 count for $54. So to get 300 of these magnets for $54 is a steal, but that's only today. Next, envelopes. So you're going to spend, these are 500 of these self-sealing envelopes. You really, really, really want these. You don't want to be licking lots of envelopes. But this is $22. This is as of right now on Amazon, $22 for these self-sticky. I will put the links to each of these things that I'm talking about in the Make Money Now coaching group as well. Paper. So the heavier stock paper works best, I believe, for mailings. It also looks more professional. Also, I'll tell you this. So I use my folders, my EXP folders, and I will put an IBS. I will put exclusive right for clients and those things printed out on this heavier stock paper and put that in and when I give to a client. And this makes your mailer looks so much more professional. Also, the color doesn't bleed if you do some color in your printing. So one of these $65.99 is this box of 500 sheets. No, 2,400 sheets. So 2,400 sheets, which is going to last you for probably your entire 9 weeks of mailers. So just go ahead and order yourself a box, and as you can see, free delivery tomorrow. If you do all 3 of these things together, you're going to get free delivery on everything. So you're probably looking at spending a couple of $100 just for the mailers. And I'm going to tell you how to get away from having to use stamps. Now, if you are going to use stamps, use a regular stamp. Don't use meter. Meter doesn't get open. So use a regular stamp that you're sticking on an envelope. You want to hand address your envelopes. And if you don't have like your family, like return address things like from March of Dimes or stuff like that, those are the best ones. Then you just want to handwrite your address, your return address. And what I would do is for me, because I would put Chris Weaver, but if I was like Juan and Bettina, I would put the Sestoki family and my home address, right? You want this to be one of these things that bridges that gap between professional and personal. All right, so I told you I would give you a hack on not using postage, and so I'm gonna I'm going to go back actually because I want to be able to show previous. So I want to look at the grid that I had, and there we go. So here's my grid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these can be done without using postage. And here's how. I personally deliver 10 a day and knock on the door and leave them behind. So what I'll do on the 30th is I will hit my first 10 homes. So I will have 10 of my intro letters, and I will hit those 10 houses, knock on the door. If I got a chance to talk to them, great. If not, I'll leave it for them. And then the next day, I'll do my next 10, the next day, the next 10. That way, if I've got a farm area of 100, then I'm doing 10 of them a day. If you have a farm area of 200, that means you'd be knocking on 20 doors a day during this. And here's what you're doing in this. You're doing 3 of the things that we talked about in our daily in-farm activities, right? So I'm actually being in the neighborhood. I'm bringing them something. I keep coupons in my back pocket, so if I actually meet somebody live, I can give them a coupon to something local as well. If it's someone I don't know, I introduce myself to them live, and this gives me a great way to do it. Here's what I would say. If you are still in the sweat equity area of your business, then you want to be knocking on doors and saving yourself the 50 cents per mailer. So that's $50 a week that or $50, 3 times a week, it's $150 a month to do this. I would save that money and I would knock on the doors. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to give you an opportunity to get comfortable walking this neighborhood and knocking on doors. And when you're hand delivering Christmas cards, people are fine with that. I'll throw this out. If you are someone who likes to bake Christmas cookies. Here's the thing. So if you're giving out 4 Christmas cookies to each person, bake a batch of 40 every day and take Christmas cookies to your neighbor. Do them up in a little bit of, be creative. Melody did some really cool pop buys a little while ago. Do pop buys. If you haven't seen the video, I will repost it in the Make Money Now coaching group. But Juan, last week, so I'll just throw this out to you, it is about to get really cold here in North Texas. And when I say really cold, I mean really cold, like into the 20s. So Juan did a video from Home Depot where he was getting the faucet covers. And the idea that he had was just pick up some extra faucet covers and call up your sphere and see if they need you to come by and throw some faucet covers on. I would say this: grab some faucet covers and door knock today and tomorrow and Tuesday. And I think they were like, I don't remember what they were, but they were relatively cheap, these little faucet covers. But if you grab 10 or 15 of them and you started knocking on your neighbor's door and saying, hey, I grabbed these, I had a couple that were extra, it's about to freeze, especially if you have elderly neighbors, which I do in my neighborhood. Most of my neighbors are in their 70s or 80s, and so to take these faucet covers around and knocking on their door and saying, hey, can I put these, would you like me to put this on for you? It's supposed to freeze tonight. These are just really good ideas. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip forward to the front. I am going to upload all of these pieces into the Make Money Now coaching group. I'm also going to be putting links in. If you've got questions or you're not sure how to do this, go ahead and shoot me an email. This is my email address, 234weaver@gmail.com, or you can text or call me. on my cell phone, 494-315-208. So we're going to be continuing with this farming workshopping and that we're doing in Allen and Las Colinas. I know sometimes Wanda, Bettina, and Allen and I in Las Colinas, we end up doing slightly different things, but it's within the same vein. And so at 11 o'clock this morning, if you are a guest, if you are not with EXP, I would definitely invite you to join us. And if somebody could just throw the link into the chat, that would be wonderful. And into the chat for all panelists, the link to the presentation that Bettina is going to be doing at 11. For those of you that are already with EXP, we are going to directly after this. So I'm not even going to close this out. I'm just going to stop the recording, and we are going to be doing our talent attraction coaching call. If you're a guest and you want to see what it is we're talking about when it comes to talent attraction, I would definitely welcome you to join us as well when this ends. And then the last is everything that I'm doing in all of these coaching calls, in addition to being put up into the Make Money Now coaching group, they are all publicly accessible on my YouTube channel. And I put these up after the call, usually the same day, onto the YouTube channel. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is developing some playlists that are specific to a step-by-step progression of what to do if you're a brand new agent, what to do if it's March 30th and you don't have any listings for the spring selling market, what should you be doing to get listings that day? And I've got very specific videos that I can do about that. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. We are going to, a couple of minutes early, and we go ahead and stop share. There we go. More. There we go. Stop recording.